Ready to go!
Alrighty, ladies and gents, welcome to another breakdown episode. Today we are looking at Genadi Kvikvinia up against Levan Saginishvili from the World Arm Wrestling Federation Championships in 2016. Now, historically, these guys have had some amazing battles, and I think this match right here might be one of, I'm not sure if it's the last, I don't think it's the last, but it's one of the last times Levan was ever defeated in any single moment in the sport. So I wanted to have a look at what it was that Genadi did on this day to get ahead of the world's #1 arm wrestler, who of course is now Levan Saginishvili. She's gone on with an amazing run of being undefeated. But if we look back, it'll be interesting to see what Genadi did and where is Genadi now, because Genadi, we haven't seen him compete for some time at the highest level. He didn't compete in the top 8 of 2019. We haven't seen him throughout 2020, but he's making those waves, the social media waves. His declarations are out there that he wants the big names, he wants the big matches. And if we look at his track record, I think he's one of the most lively arm wrestlers on the planet, and he's definitely one of the most dangerous. He knows Levan's game back to front, and that's probably one of the critical key reasons he's able to get through Levan on this one. But anyway, let's have a look at the match and break down the technical analysis from Genadi's performance. All right, you can see the slip happening there. Pretty even slip. The hand and the knuckle height was very similar. Once again, similar knuckle height you can see here. But Genadi with a defensive hook and Levan with an offensive hook. You can see now, if you pause here, have a look now at the angles of the hand and wrist. Okay, Levan, you can see his fingers are quite horizontal. That's showing that he is in an offensive hook sort of shape where he's looking to drag to the back of the pad and add side pressure with rotation. Genadi, on the other hand, you can see that he is largely knuckles up. He's largely supinated, and he's using the connective tissue of his elbow. He's using side pressure and back pressure combined with containment on his hand to prevent the pin. Let's carry on. You see more surges here from Levan, unable to get through the defensive nature of Genadi, but Genadi can't hit really an offense at the moment. He's trying to bleed, trying to wait for an opportunity. Levan thinking about what to do. You can see Levan now trying to top roll. Pausing again there, you can see Levan realizing that he's struggling to get through on the traditional offensive hook. So he tried to top roll. Now that might not necessarily have been because he wants to entirely top roll Genadi. It might have been he's trying to create a little bit of opportunity. So what I mean by opportunity is going out, makes your opponent stretch to prevent that attack or that counterattack. And then when that opponent stretches to contain that, Levan can come in a little bit deeper and a little bit higher on Genadi's arm, allowing him to get more drive on his next offensive surge within the hook. Let's carry on. Here comes that offensive surge. You can see it. He's actually busted. I'm going to pause again. You can see that offensive surge that came after the top roll. It worked. It very nearly got the pin for Levan there. You can see that Levan drove through and it was about to go down, and Genadi has actually created space. He's deliberately given his wrist up there to create height in his wrist. That just saved him from the pin, and usually from here, the man in Levan's position would go on for the win. Like 99% of the time, having done what's already happened in the match so far, Levan would usually go on and win from here, you would think. But Genadi, amazing performance to come from here. Watch what unfolds. So Genadi's on the bicep with side pressure. Levan looks to come up and press, and Genadi gets the pin. I gotta go back and show you that one more time. Have a look. So the wrist is back here. Okay, the wrist is back, and Genadi is driving with side pressure. That is his one defense, and because of the angle of Levan's body, that means that Genadi is attacking the bicep of Levan. Levan can't take the wrist anymore. He's now pretty much to the maximum of his pronation. Genadi's wrist is back, but his fingers are still intact, allowing him to get that shoulder lock that you can see there, locked into its connective tissue, and he's driving sideways against Levan's offensive surge. Now, as Levan's bicep gasses, Levan is going to stand back up and look to come back inside. He wants to get inside the wrist of Genadi. He doesn't want to be in this position anymore because he can feel his bicep gassing. And during that transition is when Genadi strikes. during the transition of any two positions, especially broad positions like an extreme top roll to coming back inside, there's usually a gap where side pressure is vulnerable. And Genadi seizes that moment perfectly. Let's watch it again. There it is. But the match is not over. Levan is actually called for an elbow foul here, and they go again. So here they are going again. Very similar shape. Offensive surge from Levan contained by Genadi in his defensive hook. We're back to that similar position. The bleed war is on once again. Genadi with the defensive hook. Levan thinking about how he's going to get this offensive surge all the way to the pad. But his hand is going to be gassing, his pronation is going to be gassing, and he's limited by the size of the pad. He wants to be able to drag more, but he can't because he will elbow foul. So there's that, again, almost a surge. The wrist goes back, same again, same story. Levan's bicep is gassing, he elbow fouls, and Genadi finishes the match. Amazing stuff. Right, guys, so that was, like I said, from the WAF World Championship Finals in 2016. Levan, brave effort, but Genadi really showing some versatility, and to be honest, where he surprised me most was with his side pressure once the wrist was back. I know that the match was at a fatigue point then, so I don't think Genadi could ever go there off the go against Levan, but I do think it was incredibly impressive that he was able to go there and actually defeat Levan with that being the critical moment. So what does that mean for Genadi at the moment? I think that the Genadi that we're seeing at the moment is undoubtedly the strongest Genadi Kvikvinia we've ever seen. Although we're yet to get confirmation through super matches or tournaments, I suspect that when Genadi hits the ground, he's going to hit the ground running in a big way. And I think that we're going to see him at the very pointy end of the world ranks should he get the opportunity to compete in 2021. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. Let me know what you think about that match. One of the most interesting matches of all time for me, given the dominance of Levan in the recent time. And yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts. All right, guys, take care. See you next time.
Yeah, that's a man!